Dynasty Sports Media checking in. It's your boy Drago, And yesterday we concluded the 2018 NFL Draft. It's a great draft, man. I think there's a lot of people showed out. I just noticed now that more people are into the draft. I will say, the rise of fantasy sports made people more interested in the draft, and actually, which got me more and got me a little bit more into the draft, along with just wanting to see my teams progress. And we're here, so it was an outstanding draft. I'm here I want to talk about the teams I have as the losers and the winners of the draft. I'm gonna pick the teams I feel like had the five best drafts and the five worst. Starting off, I'm gonna make a list. So, starting off with the losers of the draft, um, I'm gonna say the Lions. I feel like the Lions may have had the worst draft. They missed out on some needs, some definitely some top-rated players, and they didn't really address to me the running back situation. They definitely need some help on defense. I think they didn't really address that. When it comes to the Colts, I love the first pick with Nelson, but I feel like a lot of reaches in their draft, and definitely passing on some very good players that I think maybe they possibly will look back and regret some of those picks. The Ravens had some good picks and some iffy picks. I feel like they got a lot of boom and bust players. Jackson. You know, Jackson might have kept sliding. To be honest, they moved up to get him. Brown may turn out to be a star. I think drafting two tight ends, and like with the first, in your first four picks, I think that's I don't understand it. They may have got a steal in the draft with Elliott, or one of the steals of the draft in Elliott, but I think they definitely could have drafted better, and they still got some positions that they need to look at, especially at receiver. The Browns. The Browns had an okay draft, but their draft wasn't great because of the positions that they drafted in. Getting the first and the fourth, I feel like with the players they got, they could have possibly traded back. Because I don't think people was going to get Ward that early. I don't think Ward may have went, later in the top 10, maybe around 8, 9, 10. I could have saw him going, but I feel like they could have maybe got assets. I can understand it if they just felt like they love the player, so they just got them. But definitely we might look back once again on the Browns and look at the players they passed up on. And last, the worst draft, I'm gonna say the Saints. The Saints traded up for, to me, a project in Davenport. I mean, a lot of people love him. I wasn't a big fan of him. I had him as a late first rounder. Some people felt like he might have been, the second best pass rusher. Some people might have thought he was the best, but no. And then I'm gonna put the Cowboys and Steelers as honorable mention, but we're just doing the top five worst, and then I'm gonna do the top five drafts. I'm gonna say the Giants had the best draft. A lot of people going in just really said that the Giants were going to get a quarterback. I was adamant. You look at any of my mock drafts, any of our mock drafts, I never had the Giants picking a quarterback. I didn't feel like the Eli Manning era was over, and I kept having Barkley and Chubb, but I thought Barkley would be the great pick. They went and got good offensive guard that I had as a first round talent. I mean, they definitely won a draft. One thing about the draft, if you look and say, how did this make this team better? Like a lot of the losers I had, you can't tell me how those picks really definitely make the teams better. But the Giants addressed the offensive line, got a running back, and the Jags already had a good team. They got some good steals on defense. Wood already had a good defense, and got I think, a good receiver after losing their receivers, and which I had Chark as a top receiver in my mocks, top first round talent. I think they looked at his numbers, but we see what LSU receivers have done in the league. The Bengals, great draft. I know offensive linemen aren't, the the beauty picks, but they went and got a good offensive lineman, and they got some good first round defensive players. Buffalo, I love Buffalo picks. I mean, Allen was a wild card, but they may have They may have drafted the quarterback of the future for them. And then, Tremaine Edmonds was one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player in the draft. So, they got some players that I think can come in and make an immediate impact. And some people are not going to agree with this, but I like the Raiders draft. I think they going to get Hurst and going to get Key, the players that slid, but those are players that definitely could be some stars that we look back and we understand why they slid. But I really like the Raiders draft. The Bears had a good draft. The Packers, I love what they did, just really with the first two picks going to grab those cornerbacks. I really like the Panthers, and Titans had a pretty good draft. But top five: Giants, Jags, Bengals, Buffalo, and the Raiders. And the losers of the draft: Lions, Colts, Ravens, Browns, Saints. So, but overall, very good draft. I mean, it was emotional. You got to see Griffin was definitely the story of the draft, and just showing how to overcome adversity. Even Baker Mayfield to be a walk-on, to be a Heisman, to be the first round pick. So, definitely looking forward to this year. We'll be talking about fantasy soon, and and Super Bowl predictions and things like that. So kind of closing out the NFL talk for a while. We're going to be focusing on NBA playoffs and the NBA draft. But thanks for everybody tuning in. All right.